Hello and welcome. I'm Grace Browning, proud new harp faculty at the Kanack School of Music, and I am so grateful to be here with you all today to celebrate the launch of the Kanack School's first harp studio and to celebrate the legacy of the incredible Betty Strasenburgh, who passed away 1 year ago today. I was lucky enough to cross paths with Betty early in my time here in Rochester. I moved here, I guess, about almost 4 years ago. And of course, I immediately started looking for my harp friends. And I ran into Paul Kanock, who's here today. I said, I'm really hoping to, get some more harpists together. And he said, well, have you met Betty? And I said, who's Betty? He said, well, Betty Strasenburgh, you have to meet Betty. And sure enough, he gave me her number, and I called her up, and it turned out she lived just down the street from me. I was living downtown in the old Sibley building, and she, of course, was stationed right next to the Eastman School of Music, where, I would go to work every day to play with the RPO. So she had me over, and it was the beginning of a beautiful friendship that yielded so many things. Eventually, of course, this studio and thankfully the beautiful harp that she donated to the school to make the studio possible. And so I first actually got to play this harp in her apartment, and the very first thing I played was the Handel Concerto. So I thought we would kick off the celebration today with the Handel. It's a very joyful piece written for the Saint Alexander's feast, and it's one of the original oldest works for the harp. So very happy to share it with you today. became friends, and we realized we actually had a lot in common. Not only did we both play the harp, which is already rare enough, but she actually grew up in New York City, and I was raised just outside New York City in northern New Jersey. We were both so lucky to be exposed to the amazing music makings in New York. She actually took lessons with someone in the Metropolitan Opera House and was immersed in music, and eventually earning acceptance to the Eastman School of Music right here in Rochester. So Betty's story from New York to Rochester was really one of the beginning of a very long legacy, where once she came here for Eastman, she actually never really left, and she continued to perform and teach at Nazareth College, and to join all sorts of organizations. Morning Musicale, another one that I'm now a part of. But beyond that, she was such an incredible, generous philanthropist and a huge supporter of the arts and of education. And this was something we were both passionate about. And when I first met with her, I encouraged her to join the Harp Society and to help, bring more arts to Rochester. And at that point, she had already been so deeply committed to so many organizations, helping the RPO, overseeing the expansion of Kanack Hall, where we now perform every day, and also contributing to diversity and making education accessible to groups like the Gateways Festival, and eventually, of course, the Kanack School. I actually realized that, so I was fortunate to receive her books. She has not one, but 2 memoirs, and they are actually on display behind me for viewing afterwards. And in this book, her latest book, she actually wrote it in March 2020, was when she finished it. And there is actually a whole section dedicated to the Kanack School. And reading that was just so inspiring. I wanted to just share a little bit here. She says, and here's some pictures. Kanack, a very creative music school. My friend Tara Watson introduced me to the Kanack School of Musical Artistry, a most creative music school for young people on South Clinton Avenue in Brighton. Terrell teaches there and thought I might be interested in furthering the school's growth and teaching of young people. I have a lot of respect for Terrell's opinion. She's a fellow Eastman graduate, recently conducted Beethoven's Ninth Symphony at the Gateways Festival. So when she invited us to the reception at the Kanack School, we attended. I learned that I had gone to Eastman School at the same time as Alex Kanack's father. I was impressed by Alex Kanack's approach to musical education, not formal or classical. She simplified music, blending improvisation and theory. She encouraged students in what she calls creative ability development. My partner Eugene and I watched as children hardly bigger than their instrument played violins. I did help the school to improve its facilities. I appreciate being able to expose young people to music and foster their music education. It was exciting to see these young people so excited to play their instruments and eager to learn more. So that was Betty's, beginning of a beautiful relationship with Kanack, and before she passed away, she was generous enough to contribute and donate her instrument here. At the time, all of us in the Harp Society, we were so sorry to say goodbye to her, and we were especially wondering what happened to her harp. So I can't tell you how thrilled I was to get a call from Andy Barnhart, the director here, saying, "Hey, so we have Betty Strasenburgh's harp. Would you like to start a studio here?" And we were just so thrilled. So the next piece I'll play is a piece by Debussy, First Arabesque. It's one of the many pieces that is not originally written for harp, but one that we get to sort of harpify and make playable on the instrument. First Arabesque is also a beautiful piece. I always thought it was about the ballet arabesque, with the leg, but it's actually really musically describing the visuals of of what is essentially a beautiful design of rhythmic repeating patterns. And so I always think of sort of a beautiful glorified doodle when I play this. So please enjoy first Arabesque. you so much. So for the next piece, I will share another one of the solos that I played for Betty on that first fateful encounter we had. Betty was such a devotee of so many organizations here, and She was, again, gracious enough to actually share her harp. So actually, I am going to play her harp for this next one. If you can still see me over here. I feel like I had so many stories I wanted to share, and now I'm sort of blanking. But I did want to share that Betty's legacy will not only live on through the Harp Society and the Kanack School, but in all of the hearts of all of the people who she reached. She was truly tireless in her efforts to really make the world a better place. So with this next piece, I will dedicate this, of course, to her in her memory. This is a piece by Johann Sebastian Bach, arranged by Marcel Grangeny. And in fact, when I played it for her, she said, "Oh yeah, I remember playing this in school." So it's always fun to have that connection. And truly, this piece is really envelops all of the feels for me of what it means to say goodbye to someone. There are so many beautiful moments, and also moments of sadness and tension. And in the end, this Bach feels like a musical transformation. So please enjoy this Bach Grangeny Andante from Violin Sonata No. 2. Let me get a bench too. Big shout out to Paul Kanack for restringing this harp recently. It's fantastic. So for the next piece, I'm going to invite up my fiance, Benjamin Krug. Benjamin is also going to be teaching here at the Kanack School. So exciting. He'll say hi in a sec. I'm excited that we'll have family here at the school because Betty's family, of course, was a huge priority to her, and in both of her books, she dedicates whole chapters to the love of her children, Peter and Jill, who are tuning in today, and her extended family, and how much joy that brought her in not only sharing your lives together, but sharing the gift of music. And we're so thrilled that you can be a part of that. So Benjamin here is also a cellist in the RPO. We are the Browning-Krug duo, soon to be actual Browning-Krugs together. And do you want to say anything about the? No? Yeah? Okay. Well, can you take off your mask, though? Okay. We're going to share for you a piece that is originally for a salon setting. It is it's called The Serenade by Gaspar Casado. So similar to Harp, a lot of our best pieces are written by composers who actually played our instruments. And so Casado was, in fact, a virtuoso cellist. This piece is very playful and fun and again, sort of, reflects the wonderful playfulness and sense of humor that Betty had. So before our last piece here for this little mini concert, I wanted to share one more anecdote from Betty's book, and it's actually the part that I'm in, which I didn't even realize this until after she had passed away. And I remember it was actually at a Harp Society gathering when we took this book out to share, and I said, oh my gosh, look, she talks about the Harp Society. And this was such a special moment. She basically just tells some of the story about, you know, how we first met, and then how ultimately the concert and the event that she helped us put together not only really launched this Harp Society, but was actually one of the last major events that she helped make possible. And so I'll just share a little bit here. I had a pleasant surprise one morning when Grace Browning, the first harpist in the RPO, came to my door for a visit. She lived nearly in sight of my home on the 10th floor of Sibley Place. I had seen her before after Rochester's first snowstorm of the season, pulling her covered harp, more like hauling, through the snow along East Main Street. Grace tuned my harp in the living room and played Handel and Bach so beautifully. Eugene came home with a big smile on his face when he heard the music. On one of her visits, she approached me about contributing to a performance of a young touring harpist named Sasha Boldachev. The performance was scheduled at Third Presbyterian Church at East Avenue at Meek Street, where the acoustics were wonderful. It was quite cold on January 31st, 2020, just before the pandemic, when Eugene and I arrived for the concert. Sasha spoke to the audience gathered. It was as much of a shared enthusiasm for the instrument as it was a beautiful performance as he played almost magically with his fingers. Sasha did not only play classical music unusually associated with harp, the music I learned at the Eastman School. He felt free to improvise and to play rock, and as others played the guitar. He played Alleluia by the late singer and poet-songwriter Leonard Cohen. Sasha honored me by dedicating a song to me, saying that this tribute would never be recorded or ever heard again, as it was improvised for just me. What an honor. This young man was on his way to Carnegie Hall and was playing for a very appreciative audience. At the end of the concert, I was happy to hear Grace invite the public to the Saturday workshop with Sasha the next day. She resurrected the Rochester Harp Society, and this concert was a fundraiser. She encouraged people of all levels and of abilities to come and learn the harp. I had lunch with Grace and Sasha the morning before the concert and dinner afterwards. Sasha stayed with her in the Sibley Place. He was exhausted the next day, and Grace was off to perform with the RPO. What a wonderful experience it was. So, for our last piece, we wanted to offer our rendition of Alleluia by Leonard Cohen. again, a unique arrangement that we wish you could hear today.
for bringing this together and for having us be together and be able to have this at the school. This is just so magical.
It's such a gift. We're
Yeah,
so
and
grateful.
We're so excited to have Ben as well. So this is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
for
you.
doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. And again, all of our love to Jill and Peter and all of Betty's family. We love you so much, and we look forward to having you back in Rochester soon.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much.
Thank you all for being here.
Yes.